Manny got laid the fuck out. Nasty, dude. Nasty. Is that not the worst knockout you've seen since Sergio Martinez versus Paul Williams? Oh my God, Manny was put to sleep, man. Wow. Oh, everybody was like, we're watching the fight. Everybody starts going up and down, like jumping crazy, like fucking. He finally knocked him out, and we're celebrating. And then we all stop jumping up and down for like a minute and a half, and we look at the TV, and Manny's still on the floor, and we're like, oh shit, like he might be hurt really bad, but he got up and he was cool. Well, not really cool because he did get knocked out, but it was pretty bad. But wow, what a fucking fight again, and what a put away the critics, man. Everybody downing Marquez up to this point. Everybody's still dick riding Manny Pacquiao, and justice is served, man. This is a theme of this fourth fight that I want to say. Justice is served, and I'm gonna get into the post-fight analysis right now. But I just want to see. I'm still getting texts from people because people still are in denial that a knockdown actually happened, which is fucking pathetic. But okay, here we go. Before that knockdown, on my card, I had the score 47-46 for Pacquiao. And that could be, that's just my scorecard. That's what it read before that. Some people may have it 48-45 before that, but I had it 46-47. And again, these rounds were not hard. Were not easy to score. They were really hard. So mind you, everybody's card is going to be different. But man, let me break it down round by round really quick, because I have a lot of stuff I have to say about HBO and pay-per-view and Jim Lampley and Roy Jones Jr. It's pretty bad. So round one, I gave it to Pacquiao. Pacquiao landed clearly the harder shots. He was landing in that left pretty quickly at the start of this fight. And for that round, Marquez was decent, filling out the round somewhat. But Pacquiao took down. The second round, again, I gave it to Pacquiao. Pacquiao was more active, landing more cleaner shots, way more head movement. He was feinting pretty well. Marquez, picked it up a little bit, and towards the end of the round, he had a great exchange, and he kind of picked it up. So round number 3, that's when I gave it to it was a 10-8 because Pacquiao, got hit with that haymaker, man, with that big ass right hand. So at that point, it was 28-28, and Pacquiao in that round, he started off good, but then Marquez was going to the body, so that's what I think set up that big overhand right, because Manny wasn't really expecting it, and that's where it landed. Manny connected, and that was a clean ass shot too, and that shit was a great right hand. He got him clean. There's nothing you could say about that. Marquez set that up because all he was working was the body, and then that one came over the top. Round number 4, I gave it to Marquez as well. Pacquiao did okay. It was a little bit of a subtle round. He didn't really do much. It was, again, close rounds, but Marquez, I think, picked the shots a little bit more. And, he had a good last 10-second flurry in that round as well. And it was pretty cool. One thing that I wanna that I want to specify. Okay, let me. I'm sorry. I keep on jumping the gun because I want to say it so bad. Round number 5. That's when I gave it to Pacquiao. Pacquiao obviously dropped Marquez, giving a 10-8 round. And Marquez is hurt. Let me emphasize that Marquez is hurt in that round. But instead of grabbing and holding, he fought to the entire round. He didn't give nothing to Pacquiao. He was like, fuck this, dude. I'm either going to go down swinging, fuck all that hugging shit. Great mentality. You got to respect that. And then the 6th round comes along. And fuck, it started off pretty good for Pacquiao. And then you see the tide turning just a little bit. And it went back to Pacquiao. And then that's when, towards the end of the round, fucking Marquez just backed up and boom! Fucking night, Manny. That's all you have to say, man. That shit was the cleanest right hand landed on Manny Pacquiao. Besides before that one, in that first knockdown. But flush shot, Manny went to sleep. You know you go to sleep when your fucking arms tuck in and you just fall face first, dude. And you know, it was. I hate to laugh. I could, you know what? Fuck that. I could laugh about it now because I was seriously like, oh shit, he's fucked up. But hey, man, this is all part of the sport. Fuck it, man. You know, I bet you he didn't really feel bad for opponents when he got knocked down. Maybe he did. I don't know. I'm not Manny Pacquiao, but I know I'm a fan and I love knockdowns, just knockouts, just like everybody else. And that shit was funny. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. He was, you know, it was funny the way he landed, but it wasn't funny when he was laying there for more than 2 minutes. That's the way I want to specify it. Now, I'm gonna get into this because not a lot of people are gonna call this out, and I don't give a shit because if you really listen to the fights and then you ignore the commentary and you just watch the fight, the commentary has some influence, man, and I'm not falling for that bullshit. So, if you noticed when Marquez knocked down Pacquiao in the third round, when he knocked him down, you know, Kenny Bayless, you know, he like stood like for like a good 5 seconds, like, you know, did that just happen? You know, he would, and the announcers, mind you, Jim Lampley and Roy Jones and that other prick, I don't say his name anymore, are absolutely quiet. Quiet. It's like a fucking funeral. Nobody said anything. No Jim Lampley and a big right hand, but Marquez knocked him. Nothing. None of that. None of that happened. It was quiet. You know, and I was just like, you know, what the hell? What's going on? It's almost like somebody hit the mute button. You know, the nobody said anything. So it was like crazy. You know, don't spoon feed me that shit that it was a shock because he knocked him down. It was just, you know, anything that Manny does, fucking they're jumping on her. Oh, what a great leg movement by Manny Pacquiao. Oh, look at the head movement. Look at the feints. You know, Roy Jones. Oh, he's feinting. You know, he's feinting Marquez. You know, he's feinting Marquez. That's where he had a problem. You know, any little detail that Pacquiao did, they were calling it out. You know, Marquez, when he would do his work, they didn't never really commented on it. And in the knockdown, in the first one, in the third round, they didn't call that shit for crap. It was silent. Now, when Manny dropped fucking Marquez, they were all over it. You know, they were all over it. Let me fast forward. Let me bring it back. And then everybody, the announcers, was like, you know, what's going on? Like, you know, why is Marquez having trouble with Manny's new style and his approach and his feinting? And they were like, Roy Jones was like, you know, when I interviewed Marquez, he told me the one thing that's harder to do and that I have an advantage of is I'm smarter than Manny Pacquiao. I'm smarter than him. But, you know, the great saying goes, you know, I forgot what boxer he quoted when he was like, well, the other guy's thinking I'm going to be hitting. You know, so it was almost like, you know, making fun of Marquez. Like, you know, your great plan of outsmarting him is not working up to this point. You're not doing shit to adjust to it. So, well, the commentary is really bad, man. Now I know what a lot of people are talking about. I knew this a very long time ago, but this fight especially, you could see it really bad. You know, I don't care what anybody says. Now, when Marquez got the initial knockout to win the fight, where he dropped Manny Pacquiao, once again it was quiet. Bayless again looked like he just stole something, and he dropped him the same thing again. Like why is it so like shocking when, you know, Marquez drops somebody? You know, it's automatic. As soon as Manny Pacquiao drops him, it's just right to the count. But when Marquez dropped Pacquiao, it was just like, you know, almost like, oh shit, what did that just happen? You know, so it was quiet once again. And now that happened. Okay, let's fast forward. He got the knockout to win the fight. Beautiful right hand, dropped him. No excuses, no controversy. Just laid him the fuck out. And both did what they both were searching for it. A little bit, you know, then they're gonna say like they were both searching for a knockout. Well, they were, and look what happened, a knockout. You know, so don't say just because you went for a knockout you got knocked out. You know, everybody knows that. You try to go for the head, you could get hit too, man. You go for the knockdown, you go for the knockout, you get knocked out too. You know, so it's just, that's part of the game, man. You go for it, you might get hit too, and you may get caught, and that's what happened. So After the fight, post-fight analysis. I think everybody was so shocked they just didn't know what to say or what to, one thing that annoyed me was when they asked Marquez, "Do you willing to do another fight? Fight number 5. Are you willing to do that?" Why the fuck do I want to see another 5 when he just knocked them out? They dropped him. This is the whole definition of this fight. What about if Manny Pacquiao? Let me blow your minds right now. What if Manny Pacquiao dropped Marquez? That would have been the end of the finale, right? Because everybody expected Manny Pacquiao to drop Marquez, and that was going to be end of this whole chapter of this historic fight things that was going on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It would have ended everything. But since nobody expected Marquez to actually drop Manny Pacquiao, then it automatically opens another door for a 5th fight. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, man. So that's why this whole new age of boxing is fucking up the sport, because they just don't give credit to the fighters, man. They always want to give credit to the cash cow. If you see when they showed the picture of Manny Pacquiao's wife crying, Bob Arum was right there next to her, somewhat like blocking her from getting to the ring. If you see his face, if you DVR this fight, if you see his face, it's a face that he's pissed off. Like, he ain't even like happy or looks excited that it was a great fight. He looks pissed off, like probably thinking to himself, fuck, what am I going to do now? Manny Pacquiao, once and for all, without a shadow of a doubt, has been exposed. What am I going to do now? That's the face that he demonstrated. Not a face of concern, a face of disgust. If you DVR'd it, rewind it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So then, to save his opinions, Roy Jones, after the fight, he was like, and that's one thing that I was telling you about. You think back that I told Marquez, said that he's smarter than Pacquiao and he was going to look out for that right hand, and he threw a right hand right before he knocked him out. But I didn't say nothing because it was too much too much exchange and too much action going on, and that's when the right hand landed. It's like, okay, pal, if it was Manny Pacquiao, both you and Jim Lampley, you guys would be all dick right in it. But because it was Marquez, nobody says shit. Even when he does well, they don't say anything. Prove it. If you think I'm lying and you recorded this fight, or you could wait until next week when they put it on HBO, pay close attention to the commentary. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Wouldn't do that. Overall, there's nothing much else to say. This is the fight was even again, by 1 point, 2 points, maybe 3. But each round was close, man, up until the 3rd where Marquez dropped him, and then the 5th when Pacquiao dropped him. And great fight. Finally solidified. Number 4 solidified everything. You got laid out. I thought you died. You got back up. Great thing that you were back in health. That you're all safe and you didn't have to go to the... Well, I don't know. Probably he is going to go to the hospital to get checked out. I'm pretty sure he will, because that was a devastating knockout. But, Pacquiao's up in his feet. He was talking. Great for him. But Marquez finally got justice. I'm not saying that entirely, because they were all great fights, but he deserved it. He deserved it, man. So, with that being said, good night for boxing. I'm not even going to cover the Gamboa fight, because Gamboa looked really rusty in the ring. Not the Gamboa we're used to. And, man, finally, this fight lived up to what 4 was going to be all about, and it was defined by knockout, because both guys were looking for it, and both guys were looking without a shadow of doubt to end this, and it ended it. Don't spoon feed me a 5th fight. I'm not going to buy that shit. There's no need for it. So, people that are subscribed to me, thank you for always watching. Put your comments below. For the people that are new watching, if you ever want unbiased opinions and the details that most people won't talk about that will be put on Front Street, then this is the channel that you want to come to, man. I will always put it on Front Street, and I will never pick sides and be biased, because that's just not fair. And a lot of people have hidden agendas where they have to pick sides, but I don't. I just tell the truth and let how it is, man. So once again, thank you for watching. If you're new, subscribe. I'll be putting out more videos on a consistent basis. Have a good night.